Live from the Icebox Studio in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill and Corey Show.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Corey.
Welcome back. Another live edition of the Bill and Corey Show. Wow, that's a really good background we got there. Even green screen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It looks real.
It does.
Nothing's going to fall off the shelves. So the first question, sometimes I just ask Corey to answer this. It's a Corey question, but this is here's the question from the customer. Is there a dual stage regulator model that has a maximum interstage pressure of 200 psi? We plan to set these regulators to a maximum of 100 psi second stage pressure. That's your delivery pressure. So here's a two-stage regulator, and this is Corey.
Well, so the customer was initially asking a lot of questions about dual stage regulators. And ones that were, I thought, pretty interesting, like what happens if you put a gauge on the interstage port? What would it show you? And I said, well, just show you the interstage pressure. And for our regulators, up to 250 psig delivery, it's about 360. Interstage pressure is about 360 psi, and if it's 500 delivery pressure, goes up to about 560 psi. Now, typically those are just set in stone because the whole purpose of the interstage regulator is to minimize supply pressure effect, which as the cylinder pressure goes down, there's less forcing itself through essentially, and
the delivery pressure
goes up.
It's a force balance.
Force balance.
I'll interrupt you a little bit. We have a great video that you can find on our tech support YouTube page about single stage versus dual stage, and we'll see the supply pressure effect. So when the cylinder pressure goes down, the delivery pressure will go up, and the dual stage kind of dampens that out.
Now, I need to go back to this customer because I have a few questions for them, because I'm trying to figure out essentially what they want the interstage pressure to function as, because the whole point of it is just force supply pressure effect, whereas it seems like they want to use it for something more, which, you know, these are the things that have to happen when you are speaking with the customer, figure out what their needs are. But
now let's explain a little bit about supply pressure.
Yes,
effect.
go ahead.
So good rule of thumb, with a thumbs up, is that when you have a cylinder, for every 100 psi pressure that the cylinder decreases, the delivery pressure will go up 1 psi. So if you get a 22,000 psi cylinder, you're looking like a 20 psi increase if you don't adjust the pressure at all during the life of the cylinder. So this supply pressure effect, what interstage does is all that pressure rise occurs in that first stage. So the second stage won't see it. And it'll actually be a negative effect. But it'll kind of go down instead of...
So putting it from 360 to 200 doesn't really get you anything. So it's a curious question, and sometimes, and it's, you know, it's a really good question, because why do I need a dual stage?
And now that could mess up your flow characteristics.
Yes,
too,
it could.
Because you need pressure differential. Because if you want to, you get a pressure drop.
And both the first and second stage are rated to bring the pressure down are rated to the cylinder pressure. So it's not like if the first stage fails, or if that were to happen, the second stage will take care of it just fine. It'll see that pressure, but then you might see the supply pressure effect.
Yeah, you'll get the supply pressure.
That'll just become a single stage regulator.
Yeah.
So that's all that happens there. So we still have some back and forth with it, but it was an interesting question, especially the one who was like, what happens if you put a gauge in there? I was like, nobody's ever thought of that before.
Well, we've done that.
I know we have, but it's just like...
We do that sometimes when we're doing flow testing or something. We might put a gauge in there and say, hey, what's happening there?
What's happening there? Yeah, no, it's just, no.
Now, we do have an oddball dual stage regulator for ammonia.
Yeah.
Now, ammonia is a liquefied gas.
Low pressure.
Relatively 114 psi vapor pressure at room temperature, and the customer, we had one customer years ago that really needed this. So really, so I guess they were looking at when the pressure goes kind of empty on ammonia, and they had really sensitive instruments. So we set the interstage to 60 psi, delivery pressure of 30. So you get some pressure differential there to give you some flow. And it's really kind of a low flow application. They're just really super concerned about pressure fluctuations.
Yeah, and the flow is, so if you have the dual stages at the same pressure, you're not going to get...
yeah, it's not going to work that way. So, okay, so I think we kind of covered that question.
Yeah.
The next question is, do we, that'd be Matheson, offer stainless steel UHP quick disconnects like the Hansen 3000?
The Hansen 3000. I didn't look up the Hansen 3000, but I should have. It sounds fancy.
It sounds really fancy.
Sounds really fancy.
It sounds like, I don't know, some robot.
Sounds like something in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, a sci-fi movie thing, and it's not. So there are plenty of different quick disconnects out there. Just tons of them.
Which I'm surprised we don't get more orders of these, because they really are user-friendly.
They are. Now, there's... they're kind of neat, but there's lots of them out there, and they're not always interchangeable.
No.
Like the Hansen 3000 might not work with... I can't name you another one. I don't know the brands. We don't buy...
The Studebaker 300. It's just not the same.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just... whatever to know, it might not be interchangeable, and you really shouldn't, because you got you got a stem.
Oh yeah, you don't.
The stem and a body, and they have to match up.
And you're dealing with pressures and stuff, and you don't want that to be mismatched.
Yeah. So there's a lot of brands of disconnects. Now, when you get these disconnects, you got to really look at the pressure ratings, because they're really kind of tight. Like the Hansen 3000, you figured, what would you figure it'd be rated to?
Oh, 3,000.
But it's not. It comes in brass.
Those
So
tricky people.
So it's 2,000 psi rated. Hansen does make stainless steel quick disconnects. They're not the Hansen 3000, but they're the Hansen whatever.
Oh man, are they the Hansen brothers?
The Hansen? No, they're not. So what we sell, and you can find this. Actually, I don't even know if this is on the first graphic. So the QC4, we sell a QC4 quick disconnect. It's in stainless steel. And we have customers that want these on the outlets of their regulators, because they'll have some instrumentation, and and the stem kind of looks like this.
I mean, if you ever hooked up a hose to a compressor in your garage, or
Yeah. So these are
very
used a
similar
lot
grade.
in labs. The QC4s. Sometimes it's just for 1/4 inches. The QC6 for 3/8, and they'll have. This is kind of the stem. Now this is actually a QC6.
QC4 4/16, QC6 6/16.
And you can get it. That makes a little bit of sense.
I was kind of explaining your office.
We sell these. These are a little. They look. It's the same thing. It's a QC4. It's like, hey man, that looks a little different. These are. And it's got a black stripe on there. These are keyed differently. So they're for people. So you can get different colors. I don't know the different colors, but we can get them this way. And the stems, like this stem, is not for this color, so it won't go together. So that's kind of neat if you have whatever system you have, and you go, this is nitrogen, I don't want to have this plugged into oxygen.
It's like a CGA fitting in that way.
It's like that, and there's a lot of things, and a lot of quick connects can be.
But
like
the main thing is just like a CGA fitting. You can't put the wrong one in the wrong. Any fitting really, you can't really match up two that don't match, and bad things happen. So make sure you have the right. The right fittings. The right Hansen.
The right Hansen brother. Mm-hmm. Okay, next question. I'm trying to source a replacement gauges for one of the regulators from your company. The model number is model 3396. I'm looking to reduce inlet pressure gauges to something within 0 to 50 psi, but similar restrictions to fit into specifications to fit into the regulator. So you want to pop up the first graphic. There we go. That is our. I didn't get one made up for the show because it really is not that interesting to look at. This is the model 3396. This is the 3396 series single stage high purity absolute pressure regulator in brass. I think I said that one, brass.
Yes.
So this is the outlet pressures go in the vacuum range up to 15 psi. So we have a 30 psi outlet.
Call
gauge.
it the Hoover range.
Yeah, the Hoover range. And it's not the Hoover 3000.
No.
And the inlet is typically it's 3000 psi, typical for a cylinder.
Yeah.
But they wanted to have, I guess they're using it as a line regulator, so they wanted a lower pressure gauge. So we do that. And we do that.
We do that. However, it is a strange gauge for the regulator.
It is kind of strange.
That's why this one.
It's a absolute pressure regulator.
I know, but they want a gauge that doesn't go into the absolute pressure range.
No, this is on the supply side.
Oh, I'm sorry, on the supply side. You're right. Okay.
When
I'm
I
sorry.
first thought of it, because we get people who sometimes want to change the outlet gauge because they want to have to use the pressure lower.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's the inlet. So this is one of.
Okay.
We don't do a 50 psi gauge. We got a 60 psi gauge. You
Yeah.
can pop in there.
It's interesting. 50 is not. Yeah.
We don't have that, but it's.
But similar spec. That's the similar specification.
Yes. So they'll go with a 60, and now when you do that, you have to change the little warning label on there.
Yeah.
So we'd put a 60 psi warning label on it. 50 psi, something like that. So you mess it up. And look, we got a little QR code up on the graphic.
Yes. And what does that QR code do, Bill?
You can take your phone, go up to the TV set right now, and you can QR code it, and it'll go right to the online store webpage, store.mathesongas.com, and there's a bunch of other things, slashes and backslashes or whatever.
It just makes it easier.
Yeah, it's just kind of the new.
It's like remembering phone numbers.
Yeah. So you. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, actually, you want to pop? I think that we have
I have another picture now. Did you grab this picture?
I don't know if we have another picture on there. Oh yeah, there's
right
the
there.
photo.
Yeah, I was
there
gonna say,
it is.
the broken knob.
Yeah, I forgot all the photos we had up there. So yeah, so this is kind of funny. Well, it's not.
No, it's not
funny. It's funny for us, but
No.
that's our humor.
They broke a knob.
Okay, issue a previously purchased regulator, the SEQ 3513A, and a NI-S. NI is for no inlet, -S. You can see they got it.
I mean, there's still an inlet. It's 1/4 inch FNPT.
Yeah, it's no inlet.
Added.
Yeah.
No inlet added.
Well, it's no. You get all technical on me.
I know.
No inlet is when we don't have an inlet CGA fit.
We weld it shut.
Well, we don't want to do a regulator dash no inlet CGA fitting. That would make it kind of long.
But no inlet.
Okay. Anyways, they don't care about that. They care about their busted.
I know.
They busted that up. Oh, we have props. You want to switch back to the
switch
camera?
back.
See us?
So, by the way, pictures are great. I always want to stress that. You want to ask us a question, send a picture. It'll probably speed up the process.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
It helps a lot. I want to always stress that.
Yeah, it helps because sometimes you're talking about something, you call it.
Broken knob. I see a picture, and now I know exactly what's broken on the knob.
Yeah. So, ta-da! We don't have a zoom-in camera set up yet because we got a different kind of setup now. We got some issues. So you can buy the knob, and it's like dirt cheap. It's like I think under $20, something like that. And it comes with a screw. It comes with this little sticker, new sticker on there. Now, if you really buggered up your valve, you can buy a repair kit, and it comes with a. Yeah, it comes with a.
Well, let's go back to the picture. It kind of. Can we go back to the?
Yeah, can you go back to the picture?
Yeah. There we
go. So you see the. Yeah, so the stem part. Sometimes people really bugger up the stem on there, so you can. So if you buy the repair kit, you can swap out the stem on that.
In this case, it looks like the handle ripped off the stem, and that the stem's still in
so
good shape. So that's why the picture works.
Yeah. Okay, now you back to us. So yeah, you can go that route. So you got two choices there.
Or just pliers.
No, we already talked about that one time. The vice grips and stuff. Don't do that. Just buy a new knob. And then where can you find these?
Store.mathesongas.com.
You got it right there. Now let's see if I remember. Want to pop up the next graphic? There we go. For more information, if you want to run up the screen and check this stuff out,
Everything we covered in the show today, essentially.
Most of the stuff. We covered, so QR code will tell you where to go to dual stage regulators, QC4 Quick Connect, the 3396 regulator, and also pressure gauges if you wanted to buy a pressure gauge or see what kind of
Or what, like I like this regulator, I don't like this pressure gauge. Pick a new one.
Okay. Now, you can take that off now. That's good. That's all the questions we have for this week. Tune in again next week for another live edition of the Bill and Corey Show.
Set your VCRs.